Good evening, everyone.
こんばんは。ラバーニア・ワドゥガウカルグローバルコミュニケーション部のバイスプレゼントです。日産自動車
Fiscal year 2025. Along with financial year results today, we will be presenting an update on Nissan. Today's session is for 45 minutes and is held on-site as well as online. First, let me start with the introduction of the speakers today. Ivan Espinosa, Chief Executive Officer. Jeremy Papa, Chief Financial Officer. We will begin with the presentation, so I'll hand over to Ivan. Ivan.
Thank you, Lavanya. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for your continued support. It was a pleasure to meet and host many of you at the Japan Mobility Show. Before we begin, I want to emphasize that Nissan is on track, and I am grateful to all who have shown patience and trust during these decisive actions. Despite ongoing challenges and volatility, we remain focused on recovery. Today, Jeremy will present our first half performance, second quarter results, and full year outlook. I will then update you on the Nissan progress before the Q&A. So Jeremy, please.
Thanks, Ivan. Building on the disciplined approach, our cost control measures are showing encouraging signs amid a challenging environment. Now let's take a closer look at our retail sales results. Total unit sales reached about 1.5 million in the first half, down by 7.3% year-on-year. Second quarter sales, excluding China, were down by 3.6%, an improvement over the first quarter. We are already seeing clear acceleration in Q2, with North America delivering stronger results and China posting year-on-year growth since the month of June for the first time in 15 months. North America saw acceleration with 2% growth overall and 6.7% in Q2. US sales were flat, Mexico up 8%, maintaining market share leadership. China sales declined by 17.6% in H1, but have grown year-on-year for 5 months, led by N7 demand. Japan dropped by 16.5% in H1, but our showroom traffic has been recovering from a low point reached in July, thanks to marketing and dealer program initiatives. Europe and other markets had temporary declines from model year changeovers and increased competition. First half consolidated net revenue was about 5.6 trillion, with an operating loss of 28 billion, better than we had expected. Net loss was 222 billion, largely due to lower equity method income, impairments of assets, and restructuring costs. The automobile business revenue was about 4.9 trillion, driven by foreign exchange effects and lower wholesale volumes impacted mainly by tariffs. R&D spending was controlled at 275 billion through disciplined resource allocation, some project deferrals thanks to a shortened development schedule, and optimized hourly engineering costs. Our operating loss widened to minus 177 billion. Automotive free cash flow was negative 593 billion in H1, but Q2 performed better than expected at negative 202 billion. At the end of the period, net cash stood close to 1 trillion yen. Importantly, we maintained solid liquidity at 2.2 trillion in automotive cash and equivalents, and unused committed credit lines at 2.3 trillion. This slide shows the year-on-year operating profit variance factors. Foreign exchange had a negative impact of about 65 billion, driven by weaker US and Canadian dollars, as well as the Argentinian peso and Turkish lira. Raw material costs were slightly positive at 3 billion, while tariff had a negative impact of 150 billion. Sales performance contributed 24 billion, but negative volume was offset by a favorable mix. Together, volume and mix delivered 62 billion improvement. However, competitive pressures continued to weigh on incentives. Monozukuri improved by 67 billion as the Renaissance recovery plan delivered cost savings alongside lower R&D spend and purchasing efficiencies. Inflation absorbed 50 billion, moderating the overall benefit. One-time items added 65 billion, mainly due to lower warranty costs recognized in Q1 and reduced US emission expenses recognized in Q2. Other items, including sales finance and remarketing expenses, added 45 billion. We achieved a positive impact on G&A costs through Renaissance initiatives. Taken together, these factors resulted in an operating loss of 28 billion for the first half. I will now move to the outlook for the remainder of the fiscal year. For the second half, we anticipate a strong rebound in volume driven by new products and marketing initiatives. In China, demand for N7 is encouraging, and sales are expected to exceed previous outlook by 13%. North America is expected to sustain momentum, and we will intensify our efforts in Japan, Europe, and other markets. Although the first 6 months showed a year-on-year decline, we are confident the next half will deliver growth. The markets remain challenging, but the industry volumes are stable. Our full-year sales forecast remains unchanged at about 3.25 million units, representing a 2.9% decline year-on-year. We are adjusting our outlook to reflect the positive developments ongoing in China, but we are reducing our consolidated retail sales to account for the lower performance of the first half. The production is projected to remain around 3 million units as we maintained a very disciplined inventory management and actively manage supply risk. Recent launches and model enhancements will strengthen the lineup and attract customers in H2. Operational improvements, including a third shift at Nissan Shatai Kyushu, will boost output. Net revenue is expected to be about 11.7 trillion for the current fiscal year. As outlined in our revised outlook last month, we anticipate a full-year operating loss of about 275 billion, break-even before the impact of tariffs. Our operating profit outlook includes 25 billion for assumed supply risk, which we will revisit as the situation evolves. We are still evaluating the impact of Renaissance, so we are not of Renaissance initiatives, and we are not providing a net income outlook today. The forecast is based on an exchange rate assumption of 146 yen per dollar. Let me outline the factors behind our operating profit forecast. Compared to last year, 70 billion operating profit, we expect significant headwinds from tariffs and currency. On the positive side, we anticipate benefits from an improved product mix and continued support for our US-built models. Year on year, we expect cost improvements as Renaissance initiatives take hold, even amid inflationary pressures. Tariff-related car flow adjustment will add cost in the second half, limiting manufacturing efficiency gains. But we are expecting savings in logistics, R&D, and purchasing. One-time positives include lower warranty provisions and reduced emission penalties. Overall, we forecast an operating loss of 275 billion for the year. We remain disciplined in our balance sheet management, and we are retaining sufficient liquidity. Total liquidity is about 3.6 trillion, with 2.2 trillion in cash and 2.3 trillion in unused credit lines. Year-end automotive debt is forecast at about 2.1 trillion, fully in line with our initial plans, and this is following the successful refinancing of 700 billion in debt maturities this year. Let me now hand over to Ivan.
Thank you, Jeremy. I will briefly recap H1 performance and the outlook. First, on sales performance, despite volatility and competition, we stay resilient. Q2 declines narrowed, signaling stability. North America showed strong Q2 growth. Retail non-EV share has risen for 3 straight quarters and continued in October. China turned positive since June, while Japan and Europe experienced some softness, but we expect recovery with upcoming launches and dealer programs. Second, on financial performance, we possess 3.6 trillion of total liquidity. Over 80 billion yen in fixed cost savings were achieved in H1 through Nissan recovery initiatives. While tariffs and currency headwinds pressure profitability, disciplined cost management and structural efficiencies continue to deliver benefits. Finally, the outlook. We anticipate a stronger second half, driven by Nissan product-led growth and momentum from Q2. We remain on track for operating profit break-even, excluding the tariff impact. We target 1 trillion net cash at year-end and expect positive auto-free cash flow in H2. We will balance optimism with prudent risk management as we navigate challenges. In short, we are prepared for second half growth, leveraging new launches, operational improvements, and disciplined execution. Building on this momentum, let's turn to the strategic update. While navigating a challenging environment, Nissan is advancing steadily through Nissan, redefining our strategy, accelerating innovation, and reinforcing the foundations for sustainable growth. We have been driving a transformation that goes beyond tackling current challenges to redefining our future. It rests on 3 powerful drivers. First, disciplined cost reductions to strengthen our financial base. Second, a bold redefinition of markets and products to deliver what customers truly want. And third, reinforcing partnerships that unlock scale and efficiency. And with clear target, returning to positive automotive operating profit and free cash flow by fiscal year 2026, excluding tariffs. And we know what it takes to get there. That's why we're targeting 500 billion yen in savings, split between variable and fixed costs, to reshape our cost structure and strengthen our competitiveness. Let me take you through how we are tracking against these targets. Over the course of this year, our variable cost reduction initiatives have gained notable momentum. As of November 2025, we have generated 4,500 ideas, identifying a potential impact of 200 billion yen, a progressive leap from 75 billion in May and 150 billion in July. Over 2/3 of these ideas are technical solutions, like redesigning headlamps for efficiency or optimizing seat designs to cut material costs. Major cost reductions target high-volume models like Rogue, Kicks globally, Pathfinder in North America, and Serena in Japan. Every action upholds our commitment to quality, with no compromise on safety, reliability, or performance. We are advancing in manufacturing and logistics, including parts diversity reduction and supplier collaboration. Encouragingly, ideas are maturing, with more moving from concept to implementation. This structured approach ensures credible, sustainable savings embedded in design and operations, always with quality as a top priority. We have delivered over 80 billion in fixed cost savings in H1, a strong start. We aim to exceed 150 billion by fiscal year end and surpass 250 billion by fiscal year 2026. In manufacturing, we have completed 6 of 7 targeted site actions, with Compass, the 6th plant, ending production later this month. On engineering, we are progressing towards our 20% cost per hour reduction target, currently running at 12%. Parts complexity reduction is delivering also strong results, complemented by Obeya activities, with models like the next generation Rogue using 60% fewer parts. We are also optimizing assets to unlock value for transformation. A key step is our global headquarters in Yokohama. We will proceed with a sale and leaseback transaction under a 20-year agreement. This ensures Nissan's continued presence and commitment to Yokohama while ensuring no impact on employees or operations. Part of the proceeds will fund critical investments like accelerating AI-driven systems, digital modernization, and transformation initiatives while preserving our ability to invest in innovation and growth. These steps go beyond cost. They create a leaner, more agile Nissan ready to compete and win. We have made strong progress on cost actions, and now the momentum is shifting towards the next two drivers of Re-Nissan, redefining our product market strategy and reinforcing partnerships. On product lineup, our product lineup tells the story. From the award-winning Leaf to the new generation Rogue skate car, we are gaining traction. Between now and fiscal year 2027, we will be introducing 9 new models. As we look ahead, our product strategy rests on 3 pillars. Heartbeat models, icons that showcase Nissan's DNA and innovation, like the globally recognized Leaf. Core models, vehicles that lead in key markets, such as the Qashqai e-Power with class-leading fuel economy, and the Kicks, recently named Best Buy 2025 in Brazil. Partnership models are collaboration that strengthen our reach, including the N7 with 40,000 units sold in China and the Rogue skate car with 15,000 pre-sales in just 6 weeks. Finally, I want to stress the importance of partnerships for our future. Many of our products, as I mentioned earlier, reflect the strong power of collaboration. Now, coming to partnerships in technology, these are critical to strengthening our presence in next-generation mobility. In recent months, we have announced several initiatives. A tie-up with Boldly, Premier Aid, and KQ Corporation to pilot autonomous mobility services here in Yokohama. Collaboration with Wave, the UK pioneer of AI driver software, to set new standards for driver assistance in our next-generation ProPilot technology. And in China, our new Tiana features advanced intelligent connectivity, becoming the first ICE vehicle equipped with Huawei's Harmony Space 5.0 smart cockpit. These partnerships are more than projects. They are strategic moves that position Nissan at the forefront of intelligent mobility. In conclusion, our first half results reflect the challenges we face, but they also confirm that Nissan is firmly on the path to recovery. We have made meaningful progress, and while there is more to do, the foundation for future success is in place. Having implemented decisive cost-saving measures to secure profitability, we are now accelerating forward, prioritizing new products, key markets, and breakthrough technologies that will define our next chapter. The second half will bring challenges, but with focus, discipline, and the actions we are taking, I am confident we will deliver strong results. We have the right strategy, the right products, and the right team to capture growth and create value. Together, we will navigate the road ahead and with confidence, seize the opportunities and lead with innovation. Thank you for your attention. With that, we will now take your questions.
Thank you, Ivan. We will now open for question. If you have a question, please raise your hand and the team will come to you with the mic. Give me a second. I already see a lot of hands going up. Just keep the questions to 2 per person so that we manage time. So we go with maybe the first front row, middle, with the gentleman. Yes.
ベストカー編集部の寺崎です。今日はありがとうございました。2問よろしくお願いいたします。 1問目です。先週からジャパンモビリティショーが開催されております。こちらにですね、日産さんは新型エルグランドと新型パトロールを出展されました。エスピノーサ社長自らプレゼンテーションしたとも聞いております。こちらですね、手応えとですね、それからジャパンモビリティショー全体の感想を伺えればと思います。これが1問目でございます。2問目です。パートナーシップのことに関してです。昨期から、本田技研工業さんと資本提携は、ゼロに戻ったんですが、さまざまな場面で、提携を進めていると聞いております。こちら進捗がですね、話せる範囲で、伺えればと思います。以上2点よろしくお願いします。
Okay, so thank you for your questions. On the Japan Mobility Show, first of all, thank you for visiting. I really enjoyed the show and having the opportunity to guide many of you through the booths and show you what Nissan is capable of doing. Then as for the reaction has been extremely positive, both for Elgrand and for Patrol. The level of buzz that we are seeing, and I have some numbers for you actually, the conversations on social network spiked by 15 times versus the normal average that we have. And out of that, we have 35% positive sentiment in total, which is a 25% increase versus where we were before. So clearly, the products are well received, and Nissan is starting to become attractive to customers again, which was exactly the goal. It's exactly the goal of the second phase of our Re-Nissan program. As I've mentioned before, the first step was about cost and restructuring. Now we are shifting gears into the second phase, which has to do with product, market strategy updates, innovation, and technology. As for the partnership with Honda, well, we keep discussing with them, as I have said before, on several projects. There's nothing that we can disclose at the moment. But we keep discussing with them opportunities in several fields as we outlined in previous announcements. Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Take the question from the right side.
ありがとうございます。東洋経済の畑と申します。私からも2問お願いします。1点目は地域別の販売台数についてご説明通り中国や米国はだいぶ持ち直してきたと思うんですけれども日本国内と欧州の販売台数の減少というのは続いている状況です。栃木工場ですとかサンダーランドの稼働率今どうなっているのかですとかあとリーフとかマイクラですとか新車を投入すると思うんですけどこの第2段階というお話をされていてこの日本とか欧州のこの台数いつプラスに転換できるというふうに見てらっしゃるかそのあたりの見通しをお聞かせください。これが1点目です。2点目はリ日産の目標についてお伺いします。5月の策定時点の時26年度自動車事業の利益とフリーキャッシュフローを黒字化するという目標を掲げていてこの時ですと関税影響を除くっていう文言はついてなかったように記憶していたんですけど今回これがついていてこれなんか実質的に目標を下げたっていうことはないでしょうか。このあたり確認させてください。お願いいたします。
Okay, so let me start with the first question. So the volume, as we explained earlier, in Europe and Japan was soft on the first half. Europe had some impact from the model changeover, so we were on the run out of the previous Qashqai and entering with a new Qashqai that has a third generation e-Power. So we expect Europe to pick up in the second half now that we are launching full blast the third generation e-Power, which has been very positively received and evaluated by media. In Japan, we had a slow first half and for several reasons. One, of course, the impact of media and communications, the negative media coverage that we had in the first half because of the situation that we went through. This had an impact on showroom traffic, and customers were weary of Nissan situations because of the financial condition. Now, we are seeing change. We see, as I mentioned before, sentiment from the public is changing towards us. They are understanding that Nissan is a great company that makes great cars, and we start to see the positive sentiment changing. A lot of this thanks to your support as well as media, because you have been providing a lot of support to us. And we see that the sentiment is changing. The showroom traffic starts to improve. And proof of that is also the very strong reception to Rooks, around 15,000 orders received in only 6 weeks. So this signals that we can start bouncing back, and we expect a strong bounce back in Japan as well in the second half. As for the objectives have not changed. The fact that we are now clarifying tariffs is because we didn't know when we announced at the beginning for how long tariffs will be remaining. We thought initially, as many in the industry, that it was a temporary thing, but now that this is here to stay, we are just recognizing that the tariffs will have to be managed, and that this is not a downward revision, it's just a clarification of what we expect for next year. Yeah. Thank you for the question.
Yeah. On FY26 guidance, there is absolutely no change. Fully in line with what we had announced in the month of May.
Thank you. If I go to the left side, first row.
ご説明ありがとうございました。読売新聞の高村と申します。私からも2点お伺いさせてください。まず1点目がリニッサについてです。今のところ、2万人の削減という、従業員の2万人の削減というお話が出ていると思いますが、どこの国で何人程度の削減になるのかなど、この具体的な中身のところ、アップデートありましたら教えていただきたいというのが1点目です。続いて2点目なんですけども、新車投入のところに関連してなんですが、中国で N7、大変好調というところでですね、今後その中国で生産した車を、他国に出していくっていう検討されているとお話しされていたんですと思いますが、それがどの程度検討進んでいるのかというところと、日本にも送る可能性があるのかというところを教えていただきたいです。以上です。
Thank you, Sakamura-san, for the question. So, on your headcount question, what I can tell you, we're not providing a breakdown. What I can tell you is these numbers that we announce are global, and we are tracking according to our plan. So the plan is ongoing, and we are tracking according with our expectations in terms of speed and size of adjustment of the workforce. But we are not providing details on the breakdown. As for the new model, N7 and future exports, the answer is yes, we are working on export plan. You maybe heard we established already an export JV company that will help us enable and facilitate and speed up this. And we are looking at several products that we have a potential, and we are looking at different market options, but nothing specific to share today. But the answer is yes, we will be exporting cars because this is part of our strategy to defend ourselves outside of China, bring more scale to our China operations also, and use the speed of China in terms of development, technology, and costs to defend ourselves in markets where Chinese OEMs are being aggressive. So this is what we are set to do. Yeah. Thank you for the question, Sakurai-san.
Thank you. If I move to the second row in the middle. Yes, please.
Shinsaku Toyoshima from TV Tokyo Channel 7. The question to CEO Espinosa. So, in relation to the previous question, you have a commitment of achieving operating profit in the automotive business by fiscal year 2026. However, net income forecast has not been disclosed with a massive loss in fiscal year 2025. Can this target be met? Can it be achievable in time? I think that Mr. Papa has already answered that question partly, but I need an answer from Mr. Espinosa in a strong message in your commitment. And the second question is very simple. So you emphasize the change of the atmosphere around Nissan. Does it mean the darkest hours of Nissan is over or still to come? The darkest time of Nissan is over or not? Thank you.
Thank you. So for me, the important thing is to have customers looking at Nissan with eyes that represent what Nissan is capable of doing. And Nissan is a company that has over 100,000 employees working very hard to create great products. And that's proof of what we saw in the Japan Mobility Show. It's evidence and proof that this company, our company, is a great company that can deliver great, exciting products. This is what we're focusing on, and this is what our people with a lot of love for our company are doing every day. As for your question on OP, The answer is yes. We are committed to deliver what we said. And proof of that are the numbers that we just explained to you. I think we have a couple good examples. As we said, on the fixed side, we have achieved already more than 80 billion yen in the first half of savings. We are on good track to achieve 150 billion yen by the end of this year. And we are confident that we can overachieve 250 billion yen next year that we have committed to achieve. And on the variable cost side, as mentioned, the progress is very consistent. Gradually growing the impact or potential that we see, now reaching 200 billion yen versus the 75 billion yen that we had in May and the 150 billion yen that we had in July. So again, this is evidence that the company efforts is bringing fruits. So this gives us confidence to achieve the objectives that we have set for ourselves next year. Thank you for the question.
The darkest hour is over, or still to come?
Well, I don't know what you mean by the darkest hour. Again, for me, the important thing is to change the customers' minds and have them look at Nissan as a great company that it is. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We stay in the middle if you go to the...
すみません、日経新聞の落合です。2点お願いします。1点目、半導体メーカーネクスペリアの影響なんですけど、すでにオッパマーと九州の減産明らかになってますが、この先どの程度影響が出そうなのか、例えば台数規模でいうとどの程度の影響が最大見込まれているのかと、代替調達など対応策の進捗などを教えてくださいというのが1点目です。2点目、販売台数の捉え方を教えてほしいんですけど、今期はその新車出して N7 も想定以上にヒットしたということがありましたが、逆に想定外のヒット出たのに通期の販売台数は結局据え置いたままで24年度からマイナスの数字となっています。売上も下方修正しています。経営陣として下期の販売改善どの程度自信あるのか、来年度以降も新車投入続きますが本当に販売改善に寄与しているのか、お考えですとか自信のほど教えてください。以上です。
Thank you. So I will answer the second question and then let Jeremy elaborate on the first one. On the confidence on the H2, I think there's two elements to consider. Not only the new car launches, but the fact that in North America, as well as in China, from the second quarter, we already start seeing growth. So we have seen consistent growth in North America, in the US particularly. I can tell you our retail share in non-EV has quarter over quarter grown. If you look at the numbers, Q3 2024, we trailed at 4.3%. Q4 2024, we were at 4.8%, and now we're running at 5.3%. So this is proof that the performance is improving thanks to the focus that we have put in our marketing and sales activities and the products that we are rolling out in the US. Then Japan, as mentioned, we had a slow H1, so that's why we believe we will not be able of recovering the full year estimate, but we expect a strong bounce back in the H2. Thanks, as we said, from the good showroom traffic improvement that we see, the positive sentiment from the consumers, that they're placing again their confidence in our brand and our company. And again, proof of that is the very good reception and the pre-orders of the all-new Nissan Rooks. So that's why we are confident on the second half performance on sales. Jeremy, you want to elaborate on the first one?
Yeah, on the supply risk that we are managing at the moment, there are actually two. One is a aluminum supply issue in North America that is affecting many market participants following the fire at a supplier. The second one is obviously the situation with Nexperia and the chips that were being banned from export from China, but that ban in the last few days seems to have been lifted. So I would say the situation is extremely fluid, and we are, I would say, managing it extremely closely. This forecast, as I shared with you, includes a 25 billion yen risk, which we put as a placeholder last week when the situation was quite uncertain. I would say as the situation clarifies, should this placeholder be unnecessary, we will be removing it from the forecast.
Thank you. Next question. You can move to the middle. Yes, please.
テレビ朝日の松岡と申します。ありがとうございます。2点ありまして、今期の決算、上半期の決算自体の受け止めが1点と、あともう1点が本社売却に関して、賃貸で借りずに開発拠点とかがある郊外とかでに行くっていう方がメリットがあったんじゃないかと思うんですけども、この点どう考えているのか、役員の方とかから反対はなかったのでしょうかっていうところを聞かせてください。
Thank you. Thank you for the question. So on the first half assessment, as mentioned, we had a result that came in better than we expected, but it was supported by external factors as well. So we had some one-time events, and that are, evident that we are doing well, but there's more work to do. So that's what we qualified earlier in the presentation. So the plan is on track, but we have to keep working hard in the second half to deliver the objectives that we have set for ourselves. Now, as for the sale and leaseback, we discussed at length in the EC, and it's something that also we reported to the board. And the best option was to do what we did, the decision that we made, which is trying to minimize the impact on the employees and on the suppliers and on the local economy, and having a good business strategy to utilize better our assets, bring some resources in that will help us, as said, modernize and go further into digitization, AI implementation, and many other things that we have to do. While also it allows us to spend the precious R&D resources that we need for our future, especially in a year where free cash flow will be negative. So these are the considerations that we took for the decision that we made. Thank you for the question, Matsuoka-san.
Thank you. Move to the left side. Yes, please.
ブルームバーグの稲島と申します。今日はどうもありがとうございました。前回の会見でパパンさんの方から今期の純損益見通しについては詳細を通期の今回の決算発表のところで示すというようなお話しされてたと思うんですけれども、今回実際はその未定となりましたけれども、改めてですね、なぜこういった状況になったのかというところですね、前回の会見のところから何か詰め切れると思ってたところが詰め切れなくて今回未定となったのかですね、可能な範囲で、こういったところが詰まってないのでというところを開示できるところが教えてください。あとですね、16ページのところで、グローバルデザインスタジオの再編ですとか、日産グローバル情報システムセンターの移転というような記述があるんですけれども、こちら実際にアセットの売却みたいなものが伴うものなのかといったところも含めてですね、もう少し詳細を教えていただければ幸いです。以上です。
So on the net loss outlook, I think the situation is the following. We are at the moment considering further implementation of restructuring actions under Nissan, in particular accelerating decisions. And as we are working on those options, we just didn't have a clear enough forecast to share something that was robust enough in order to make a communication. So we want the transparency and we want to provide the guidance, but today was just not the day where we could. And so I think you just need to bear with us and understand that we're working on assessing further restructuring and implementation of Nissan plans in fiscal year 25, and that will have P&L consequences that we are assessing. On more generally on the events that you mentioned, I would say that when we free up any asset today, there is a consideration of monetizing the asset if we own it, and so there is just a systematic review. So we will keep you informed as we progress with asset sales or any asset disposal.
Okay, thank you. The gentleman in the middle, please.
日本放送畑中と申します。今日はどうもありがとうございます。社長に伺いますが、ちょうどモビリティショーの最中にですね、グループの日産車体で湘南工場の活用方法についての発表がありました。サービス部品の工場ということになるそうですけれども、これについての受け止めと、この決定について日産本体の関与があったのかどうか知りたいです。でそれからモビリティショー、大変好評だったということなんですが、このメインのエルグランドとパトロール、くしくも日車九州の生産であります。この2車種のこの日車の生産体制は今後も維持されるのか、何か移管などの可能性が今後あるのかどうか、確認として伺いたいと思います。
Thank you. As for the Nissan Shatai question on Shonan, I would kindly ask you to ask the question to Shonan. We cannot comment on Nissan Shatai. However, on your question on Elgrand, we will be continuously assessing the industrial strategy. So for the moment, we will start producing in Nissan Shatai Kyushu, together with caravan and frame vehicles. As you have seen, the welcoming of Patrol and QX80 is very good globally. So we are currently looking at what options we can have to further increase the capacity of such models, because they are performing very well and they are very profitable. Now, this, as I said, we will continue to explore, but for the moment, there is no intention to move the products out from Nissan Shatai Kyushu. Yeah, thank you for the question.
We'll have time for 2 or 3 questions. So next question, please. Yes.
テレビ神奈川の富樫と申します。エスピノーサ社長にお聞きします。日産スタジアムのネーミングライツについて教えてください。昨日横浜の山中市長が、先月31日付で新たな提案があったと、明らかにしましたが、この内容についてお聞かせいただける範囲でお聞きしたいです。それから一度は日産側の提案に応じて1年間5000万で契約更新という方針を示したにもかかわらず、また契約内容に関しての再検討を指示したというその市側の姿勢について、もしお考えがありましたらお願いします。
Thank you. So, first of all, we are committed to Yokohama. This is our home base, our hometown, and we're going to stay here. This is why we also announced that we will continue to be the largest shareholder in the Yokohama Marinos, because it's an icon of our company and a symbol of pride for many of our employees. With that in mind, we've been discussing with Yamanaka-san and the city of Yokohama, because we want to continue our collaboration in the Nissan Stadium, for the same reason. Now, we made an offer, as you said. We are discussing now with Yamanaka-san and the team and the city, and we will update you when this is concluded. So we will continue discussing with them based on this offer that we provided, but no detail to be shared today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. Come to the middle, please.
テレビ東京の阿部と申します。日産本社のその売却についてなんですけれども、実際これ借りるわけですね。で賃料が発生すると思うんですけれども、20年間いくらで借りる予定でしょうか。これが質問1問目です。
So, yeah, we have agreed to do a sale and lease back, as I said, and there will be a rent. But we are not going to disclose the level of rent. I just tell you that it's a good financial decision. It's a good business decision that will allow us to invest resources in our future. Thank you for the question.
I think we're right on time. Thank you very much once again for joining us. If you have any further questions, the communication team is available. Please reach to us. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.